Power in war does not always fall on the battlefield. Sometimes it collapses in command rooms, bunkers, and courtrooms. In World War II, even Germany's highest-ranking commanders did not escape death. This is the story of those who commanded millions and how they met their end. Walther von Reichenau, one of Hitler's most ideologically loyal field marshals. He commanded the German Sixth Army during the early phase of Operation Barbarossa and was deeply involved in enforcing brutal orders on the Eastern Front. Reichenau openly supported the War of Annihilation against the Soviet Union. In January 1942, he suffered a massive stroke during a morning run in Ukraine. While being flown to Germany for treatment, his aircraft crash-landed. He died shortly after, not by enemy fire, but by the physical collapse of a man consumed by war. Günther von Kluge, one of Germany's most senior battlefield commanders, leading armies in both the Eastern and Western fronts. He later became commander in France during the Allied invasion of Normandy. As Germany's position collapsed, suspicion fell on him after the July 20 assassination plot against Hitler. Facing arrest and interrogation by the SS, Kluge chose not to surrender. In August 1944, he swallowed poison while traveling to Berlin. His death was a suicide, driven by fear, pressure, and the certainty of execution. Walter Model, known as Hitler's firefighter, sent to collapsing fronts to hold the line at all costs. He commanded Army Group Center, then later forces in the West during the Battle of the Bulge. By April 1945, his army was encircled in the Ruhr Pocket by Allied forces. Refusing surrender and unwilling to be captured, Model dissolved his army. Shortly after, he walked into a forest in Germany. There, he shot himself, ending his life as the Third Reich collapsed around him.
Erwin von Witzleben. Erwin von Witzleben was a senior field marshal and one of the highest-ranking officers involved in the July 20 plot to kill Hitler. He was meant to take control of the Wehrmacht if the coup succeeded. After the plot failed, Witzleben was almost immediately arrested. He was subjected to a public show trial by the Nazi People's Court. In August 1944, he was executed by hanging using piano wire. His death was deliberate, humiliating, and meant to terrify the officer corps. Eduard Dietl. Eduard Dietl was a celebrated mountain warfare commander, famous for defending Norway against Allied forces. He commanded German troops in harsh Arctic conditions and became a propaganda hero. Despite his frontline role, Dietl did not die in battle. In June 1944, he boarded an aircraft flying from the Eastern Front. The plane crashed in mountainous terrain. Dietl was killed instantly, an accidental death caused by aviation failure, not enemy fire. 6. Hans Jeschonek. Hans Jeschonek was the chief of the Luftwaffe General Staff and one of Hermann Göring's closest deputies. He was responsible for planning Germany's air war and defending the Reich from Allied bombers. As Allied bombing intensified, pressure mounted and blame followed. Jeschonek saw Germany's air power collapsing beyond recovery. In August 1943, inside Luftwaffe headquarters, he shot himself. His suicide reflected the failure of German air power and internal collapse. Ernst Busch. Ernst Busch commanded major formations on the Eastern Front and later led Army Group Center. He was known for strict discipline and loyalty to Hitler's orders. As Soviet forces advanced, his commands suffered devastating defeats. In 1945, Busch was captured by British forces. Shortly after captivity, his health deteriorated rapidly. He died of illness while still a prisoner, a slow end following total military defeat.
Wilhelm Keitel. Wilhelm Keitel was not a battlefield commander, but the head of the German High Command. He signed many of the regime's most criminal orders, including directives against civilians and prisoners. After Germany's surrender, Keitel was arrested by the Allies. He stood trial at Nuremberg for war crimes and crimes against humanity. Found guilty, he showed no resistance. In October 1946, Keitel was executed by hanging. Alfred Jodl. Alfred Jodl was the chief operational planner of the German armed forces. He coordinated military strategy directly under Hitler's authority. Jodl signed the official surrender documents in May 1945. Like Keitel, he was arrested and tried at Nuremberg. The tribunal found him guilty of planning aggressive war. He was executed by hanging in October 1946. Günther Lütjens. Günther Lütjens commanded Germany's surface fleet operations. He led the famous Bismarck mission into the Atlantic. During the battle with the British Royal Navy, Bismarck was crippled. Lütjens remained on the bridge as the ship was destroyed. On May 27, 1941, Bismarck sank into the Atlantic. Lütjens died at sea, killed by naval gunfire. Walther Wever. Walther Wever was one of the architects of Germany's early air power doctrine. He supported long-range strategic bombing, unlike many of his peers. His death came early in the war before combat claimed him. In June 1936, his aircraft crashed shortly after takeoff. The crash was caused by mechanical failure. Wever died instantly, altering the future direction of the Luftwaffe. Theodor Eicke. Theodor Eicke was the commander of the SS Totenkopf division. He played a central role in creating and organizing concentration camps. Later, he led Waffen-SS troops on the Eastern Front. In February 1943, Eicke flew over the battlefield near Kharkov. His reconnaissance aircraft was shot down by Soviet ground fire. He was killed in the crash, a direct combat death.
Günther Korten. Günther Korten served as chief of the Luftwaffe General Staff after Yeshonek. He was responsible for coordinating air defense against Allied bombers. In July 1944, he attended a meeting at Hitler's headquarters. Klaus von Stauffenberg detonated a bomb during the briefing. Korten was severely wounded in the explosion. He died days later from bomb injuries. Hans Krebs. Hans Krebs was the final chief of the German Army General Staff. In April 1945, he attempted negotiations with Soviet forces in Berlin. The talks failed, and Berlin was overrun. Krebs returned to the Führer bunker as defeat became inevitable. On May 1, 1945, he shot himself. His death marked the final collapse of German command authority. Wilhelm Burgdorf. Wilhelm Burgdorf served as chief adjutant to Hitler. He delivered death sentences and promotions inside the Nazi leadership. As Berlin fell, Burgdorf remained inside the bunker. With no escape and no future, he chose suicide. In May 1945, he shot himself alongside other senior officers. His death came by bullet, not battlefield. Hubert Schmundt. Hubert Schmundt was Chief of Staff of the German Navy. He coordinated naval strategy and communications. In July 1944, he attended the same briefing as Korten. Stauffenberg's bomb exploded in the conference room. Schmundt was critically wounded. He died weeks later from bomb-related injuries. Karl Eglessier. Karl Eglessier commanded German forces in the Balkans. His role focused on occupation and anti-partisan operations. In July 1944, he was traveling by aircraft. The plane crashed due to mechanical failure. Eglessier was killed instantly. His death was accidental, not combat-related. Helmuth Stief. Helmuth Stief was a senior officer involved in resistance planning against Hitler. He helped prepare the July 20 assassination plot. After the failure, he was arrested by the Gestapo. He was tortured and interrogated. In August 1944, he was executed by hanging. His death was a political execution. Henning von Tresckow. Henning von Tresckow was one of the earliest and most committed anti-Hitler conspirators. He helped plan multiple assassination attempts. After July 20 failed, he knew capture was inevitable. While on the Eastern Front, he staged a fake battlefield incident. He detonated a grenade near himself. His death was suicide, disguised as combat. Paul von Haas. Paul von Haas was the military commander of Berlin. He supported the July 20 plot and ordered troops to act against the SS. When the coup failed, he was arrested immediately. He faced a swift military trial. In August 1944, he was executed by firing squad. His death was the result of open resistance.
Rank did not guarantee survival, and power did not protect them from consequence. Their deaths marked the collapse of command and the end of a war that consumed even its own leaders.